Well, we are back with more legal insight from Peterson Law Office.
Listen, our main man, Justin Peterson, is joining us. We always love when you make it into the studio, and so I'm ready for you today, brother.
I'd love to be here. Now, that sounded like a threat. Okay, let's figure this out.
So let's throw out some questions for you. I noticed there are a whole lot of bikers out there now. Summer, of course, is here, warmer temps. So how can some of those bikers, I guess, have some type of coverage? Because sometimes we're seeing those pedestrian strikes involving some of those bicyclists, and maybe there is no bike lane.
Yes, absolutely. Well, it's so funny you asked this, because we don't play in this, do we?
I know.
I had an old baseball coach call, and his dad was hit as a pedestrian the other day. So whether you're on a bike or a pedestrian, your UIM, that underinsured motorist coverage that we talk about, that's on your own car, that can cover you if you're hit by another motor vehicle. So you can absolutely protect yourself through your UIM coverage, to answer your question. Now, what a lot of people don't know is there are some statutes, there's some rules, there's some local regulations on how to ride a bike. You don't want to go against traffic in certain situations. If you're coming up, you have to yield certain places even though there's not a sign. So if you're a biker that bikes a lot, they already know those things, right? Those bikers in the bike club, they're trained usually. I've had bikers in bike clubs that get hit on these rural roads, and it's amazing how much training a lot of those different entities do with their bikers to ensure that they're complying with their own standards of care and how to do a bike. And so unless you've handled that, you don't know it. You know, unless you don't ride a bike, you don't know it. And so, so make sure you're up to date on those things if you're going to ride.
I mean, like, I think a lot of folks are just spending extra time outside, but a lot of folks are traveling and going different places. And I can think of nothing worse than, let's say, I'm on a summer road trip with my family. I'm in a different state and I do get into an accident. How should you keep up to date, I guess, with different traffic laws as you're traveling from back and forth? Or is that something where we should immediately call the lawyer for?
Traffic, always call the lawyer. So always, the worst thing you can do is get the right answer, right? And so always call the lawyer. But traffic laws, state to state, are uniform. Generally speaking, obviously, certain roads are going to have different speed limits and things like that. But traffic laws are traffic laws. The rules of the road are the rules of the road. And so how those laws apply to damages and things like that, like some states restrict damages, some states only allow you to get so much. Some states are open, like Kentucky's a state that doesn't restrict damages, thank goodness. And so, so those things are different state by state, but generally the road laws are not.
And before we wrap things up, I also noticed on your website that you have a section for animal bites. Now, folks, a lot of times they'll see a dog coming towards them and they'll freak out, and then the dog bites them, but they have no idea who the owner or the dog belongs to. What do we do? So we got to investigate. That's when you need to call us quickly, because dog bites under Kentucky is governed by strict liability law, meaning the owner of the dog is strictly liable if their dog bites someone. So the onus is on them. So typically speaking, our clients have the burden of proof. So in that car wreck example we talked about, we have to prove the other driver was negligent. We have to prove that negligence caused their injury. In a dog bite situation, it flips to that owner. So if you own a dog, just know that, right? I mean, just make sure that you're keeping the dog on your property. If you're allowing Amazon drivers or whoever onto your property, you do have a duty to keep safe. And if something does ultimately happen, the burden of proof flips to that dog owner.
I think a lot of times when things like this happen that we've been talking about, you are so stressed out, but y'all are such a friendly face and can help give, like you said, there's always give a right answer, right?
Well, we have an answer, whether people like it or not. But we do have answers.
Awesome. Well, we've got the website up on the screen. Reach out if you need something, or if you just got a legal question.
Absolutely. Call Justin personally. Want me to give you his number? I'm kidding. Thank you so much for being here, Justin. We appreciate it.